What's up, guys? Big Papa Drock back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. And this is a video I have wanted to make for quite some time, and I'm finally getting around to it, and I am very excited to make this video because it's something that I've wanted to talk about for a while that I think needs to be talked about. But before we get into it, I hope you're all having a great day. I hope you did something fun today whenever you're watching this, or said hello or I love you to a family member. I don't know. I'm in a cheery mood right now. I'm in a cheery mood, so hopefully you are as well. But today's topic does not make me cheery. No, today's topic makes me annoyed, disappointed. I don't know. We'll get into it because really what we're talking about today is Sun Wukong and Quintus. Now, before I talk about this specifically, I want to say I love that Sun Wukong is a good champion. This video is not about why is Sun Wukong so good. You know, why are they giving away good champions? Like, no, I want them to give away good champions. I love when we get fusion champions and fragment champions and free login champions that are good. And you can make an argument, frankly, that Sun Wukong is one of the best, if not the absolute best free champion we have ever gotten. He is that good, folks. He is insanely versatile. He is amazing in arena. He is viable at every level of the game, from someone just starting all the way up to end game level players. He's phenomenal, and that is good. That is a good thing. But what is equally not good is that Quintus is so bad. Quintus, and if you don't know who I'm talking about, he's literally the one thing you get that people actually want in live arena. What am I doing here? Where's live arena? He's your, I don't even have like the rewards anymore. They're gone, I think. Yeah, he's your milestone reward, Quintus, for hitting super high level live arena, right? Most people in this game will not get Quintus ever, or it might take them years. So you would think that since that is the ultimate reward for live arena, besides the area bonuses, which are fine, but like that's the one people really care about, you would think, oh man, Quintus has got to be nasty, right? Wrong. You'd be wrong. He is garbage. He's terrible. He is not a good champion, and he's not used in endgame, and that is a problem. I'm going to compare and contrast Sun Wukong, a free login champion that everybody gets, that again is phenomenal, with Quintus, a champion that you have to grind for, that frankly you would think would be a lot better. Let's look immediately, though, before we get started with that, let's look right away at the reviews. So Sun Wukong, where is he? Where's the Monkey King? Reviews, pretty good, 4.7. Honestly, this is underrating him. He's a straight up 5.0 in arena. If you're rating him less than a 5 in arena, you don't know how to use him. He is amazing in arena offense. So again, we'll get into his kit. Let's take a look at Quintus's reviews. Where is he? Bannerlords. Quintus, only 24 reviews. Again, super hard champion to get. Absolute garbage. Like, come on, Plarium, this can't happen. You can't have the one thing that people want to do live arena for besides bragging rights be this and have it be this bad. And why is he this bad, right? Well, we're going to get into it. Let's take a look, though, again, at Sun Wukong and why Sun Wukong is so much better. Well, first and foremost, like I said earlier, with Sun Wukong, you have versatility. His kit allows you to do so many different things. You can build him for accuracy and high level speed, to place debuffs, and also to strip. So his A1, he can stun you. His A2, he can sheep you, right? So he can literally make you a sheep. And oh, by the way, he can't be polymorphed when placing this debuff. So this is a major point of contention with me. And it's one of the things, like, you'll notice I did a video. If you look back through my videos, I did a video on Quintus when he first came out. And I said how underwhelming he was at the time. And most people agreed with me. And it really focused around how bad his A2 was. And that's still one of the major problems with him to this day. And people are like, oh, well, if he was able to strip Stone Skin, that wouldn't be fair. Well, guess what, guys? Here's a free login champion that will go right through Stone Skin and place a polymorph debuff. How in the world is this champion that much better than your arena master champion, who cannot place a sheep debuff, who can't actually strip Stone Skin guaranteed, which is insane that he doesn't do that. And oh, by the way, if he does place his decreased defense debuff, he'll get polymorph potentially as well. And that is one of the things that drives me nuts, because I look at this champion who is so good, and I look at Quintus and I wonder, why can't we improve him? I have sent feedback to Plarium in the content creator chat like, hey, you got to make him better. And Sun Wukong is the exact reason why. Because again, this ability is sick. You can build this for damage and he will nuke an entire team. Quintus's A2 only hits one person. Like, Sun Wukong is nuts. Then you get to the A3 and it gets even crazier. Attacks everybody and steals all the buffs. Now he's not only doing damage, now he's stealing all the buffs and he places a block buffs. So he's basically a Taurus counter. Again, you have to worry about polymorph on this one, but still, it just goes to show how nuts his kit is. And oh yeah, by the way, he reses himself if he dies. Like, what? This champion is bananas. And that's awesome. I'm super happy about that. But why? Why is this champion so bad? Why? Why can't we fix him? And how would we, right? His A1 is fine. Attacks one enemy, places an extra hit if the target has no buffs. If the attack is critical, repeats the attack once. This A1 can actually do a lot of damage if the enemy doesn't have buffs. But again, that's pretty rare in this game. Usually everyone you fight is going to have a massive amount of buffs on them. And on top of that, if you try to take the buffs away, there's polymorph. So this A1 is not as valuable as it seems. It does hit hard if you don't have buffs on the champion. But frankly, to me, it should just have a chance of placing an extra hit regardless of if there's buffs or not. Make it similar to, Georgids, but just give it a better chance of actually hitting with multiple attacks. Again, this is the guy that's one of the hardest champions in the game to get. He should be sick. He should be awesome. Let's take a look at his A2. Talked about it before. When you read this, it would make you think that it's going to strip Stone Skin guaranteed if you have any level of English reading comprehension, because it says attacks when enemy, removes all buffs, then places a decreased defense debuff on the target for 2 turns before attacking. These effects cannot be resisted or blocked. I mean, that is, if you know how to read, that makes it pretty clear that it's going to strip anything that's on there, except, in my opinion, a protected buff, because that's got a little yellow outline on it. Well, Stone Skin's not a protected buff, folks. It's not. It's a 50% chance to not get stolen. That is not the same thing as a protected buff. I'm sorry. And it drives me crazy that this is written so poorly, because that's what this skill should do. This skill should steal Stone Skin, or not steal it, but should strip it. Absolutely. And this is the #1 way to fix this champion. Make this skill do what it says it's going to do. Make it strip Stone Skin 100% of the time. You can't tell me that that's too powerful anymore. You've got a free login champion who not only gets rid of Stone Skin, he also sheeps you. I mean, come on. This needs to strip Stone Skin 100% of the time. And on top of that, to really make him viable, he should be immune to polymorph, just like Sun Wukong is on this skill. It should strip the Stone Skin. It doesn't even have to steal it like Sun Wukong's A3 does, but it should strip it. It should put the decreased defense guaranteed, and he should not get polymorph for it. Now we've got a champion that's actually worth taking into arena. He's still not overpowered. I'd still probably rather use Sun Wukong, all things considered, and we'll get into that reason in a second, but at least now he's more viable. At least you have a reason to bust him out, a reason to grind for him, a reason to get excited when you finally get there after months and months or possibly years or whatever else of playing live arena. The other big issue with Quintus, frankly, he just doesn't do a lot of damage. This skill sounds like it's going to do decent damage when you look at his passive. It really doesn't. It needs a really, really big buff. It doesn't hit hard. They need to think about upping the multipliers on this significantly so that this actually does really solid damage. The other thing I would love to see too, just because of what the meta is right now, I'd love to see this split off. I'd love to see him get places of 50% increased attack buff, and 30% increased crit damage buff as its own separate skill, and then grants an extra turn. And the reason for that is when you pop this open, right? If you're trying to use Quintus in arena versus Taurus and Marichka, and you use the skill to get the increased attack and the increased crit damage, well, guess what? You're about to get nuked by Taurus's counterattack. And what I'd love to be able to do is have the ability to put increased attack and increased crit damage on yourself, and then pivot right to this A2 instead. You know what I mean? Use this first, still get the benefits of that, get that extra turn to go right into the A2, and then on my next turn, hypothetically nuke everybody. Just a thought, just ways that we can improve this champion. And I'm going to do a quick showcase so you can see what I'm talking about. But again, the multipliers on this are awful. They've got to be improved. And his passive sounds like decent. Each of the champion skills deals additional pure damage. So, you know, just pure can't be, you know, not it's basically like ignore defense damage. The amount of pure damage dealt is equal to 10% of the target's max HP for each buff on them. The additional pure damage dealt will ignore shield buffs. It sounds really good, but in practice, it doesn't really buff that damage that much. So I mention all this stuff because I think it's important to give constructive feedback to Plarium, and I hope that they choose to listen, right? But let's actually take a look at this in the Dragon Dungeon so you can see exactly what I'm talking about and why I am so passionate about this. Because again, to me, you don't have good live arena rewards. There really is not a reason for the average player to play it. And that is a problem when it comes to retaining players long-term and also getting people excited about Raid. Now, I have a selfish reason for people to be excited about Raid. I'm a content creator, right? I do this as part of a business. So I want people to be excited about Raid. I want to be excited about Raid as well. And this is a very easy thing that could increase people's excitement of like, oh, wow, Quintus is actually a good champ. He's worth grinding live arena for. I'm excited to get him. I'm excited to put that time in. Just like Ramontu is a really good champ, or was a really good champ prior to Polymorph. You know what I mean? Like, you had a reason to want to play the game to get that champ. So let's take a look. We're going to bust both of these guys out here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And I think you'll see very quickly just how far Quintus is outclassed, again, by a free login champion. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Before we do this, let me show you the builds on both, because they're actually very, very equal. And if anything, my Quintus, I think, is a little bit stronger in terms of gear than my Sun Wukong. So just want to show you that there's not like a major difference between the two. So here's Sun Wukong. We can take a look here. He's not built. He's built like kind of a hybrid. This is actually not a great build for him, I've realized. So I need to rebuild him for high level arena. But 7,000 attack, 273% crit damage, right? That's what we're rocking here. 7,000 attack, 273% crit damage. Let's take a look at Quintus by comparison. So Quintus is rocking just under 7,000 attacks, so 69, and 285% crit damage, so more crit damage. So they're effectively equal here in terms of overall builds. There really isn't much difference in damage. If anything, I think Quintus has a little bit of the edge. And they both got like Helm Smasher on, so they might proc that, but it might not. We'll do this a couple times to try to take that variance out. But I just want to show you, again, why this champion so desperately needs a buff so that he actually becomes usable in the game. And that's all I really want. I want to see people who got Quintus. I want to see them pulling him out in arena. I want to be one of the people pulling him out in arena because it's so hard to do. And if you get him, you should be excited about that. You should be hyped to pull him out, not bummed. All right, let's take a quick look here. We're going to start increased attack. Now my monkey goes first because he's too fast. Look at that A1, 91,000 on that A1. Not bad at all. Now we are putting up decreased defense here and whatever. So this is not going to be a fair comparison, but 84K, 104K. So you can see his A1 hits really hard, but again, that was with decreased defense and weakened. So that's not a fair comparison. What I want to show you here is the A2 on the monkey. Now I don't know if we're going to proc Helm Smasher here, which can affect this stuff, but let's just see the damage on the A2 on the monkey. Kills that. So kills her, 300K damage, I think there. And after killing her, does bonus damage to everyone and takes half their health away. What? That's insane. That is insane. That's just crazy town. All right, let's see the A2 damage. Again, he doesn't get that ability to do extra damage. Let's just see the A2 damage here on Quintus. Only 200K. Only 200K. Am I crazy, or did that monkey just hit? Did that monkey not just hit for 300K and then do damage to everyone? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I missaw that. We're going to do, I didn't see it right. We're going to do it again, but let's just do the A3 by itself here. A3 on Sun Wukong puts up the block buffs, 95, 91. So this doesn't hit super hard, right? We also didn't, we did have increased attack, excuse me. All right, let's get the A3 on Quintus. He doesn't have buffs to increase stuff, or they don't have buffs. 96, 76. I mean, what? He hits like a noodle. He hits like a freaking noodle, guys. There is zero reason for him to be this bad. Plarium, please, for the love of God, fix this champion. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Let's see the A2 again. I want to see it one more time. See it one more time. We're going to do it again on this. Okay, we got the A2 here on Quintus. Let's see A2 on Quintus. We'll go over here. Let's go over here. 230. Okay. Technically, we should hit the same one with Sun Wukong, but whatever. We're gonna do this one. This one, that one doesn't have decreased defense though. Let's hit Renegade here. Let's hit Renegade. I think Renegade has decent defense, if I remember correctly. 411,000, and then also nukes everybody else. What are we doing? What are we doing here? There is absolutely zero reason for this champion to be as terrible as he is. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's a joke. I want to see his A1 by itself. So 90K on the A1. Let's see the A1 on Quintus here. I'll do it on Renegade again. 33, 34, 30, 47. So again, his A1, if no one's got buffs, not bad. I was about 100 and what? 130K right there versus 91. But then again, you can also argue like Sun Wukong stuns on his A1. Anyway, I just wanted to make this video to illustrate a major problem with this game right now, and probably the biggest problem overall, if we're being completely honest. And that is champion balancing is completely lacking. It's absolutely lacking. Quintus has been out now for 5 or 6 months, potentially to get. I was the very first content creator, like official raid content creator to get him, the very first. Shadow had him before me, but Shadow is not an official content creator, so that's why, or at least that's what Raid told me. So first official content creator to get him, and to say I was disappointed is an understatement. Look, I don't like bashing on this game. I want the game to be good. But one of the things that has to change is Plarium has to start listening to feedback. And part of that is champion rebalancing in a consistent and in a reasonable fashion. And Quintus is a great example. I have given feedback for the last 3 months that he needs a buff. Other content creators have given feedback that he is not good, and there has been zero actually done. And it's not hard. It's not hard to make him better. I'm not saying that every champion that comes out or every free champion should be the meta. I'm not saying that whatsoever. And again, even with the buffs that I suggested, I still think Sun Wukong is a better overall champion than Quintus, which kind of bums me out. But I think one of those things that needs to happen is we just need to see champions like this get love a lot more, a lot faster and a lot more often, right? Just as simple as that. So I'm making this video so that Plarium hopefully sees it and says, you know what, Drock, you're right. Quintus is kind of, ass. I think we can do better. And we'll make some of those changes, or at least think about it, or at least make some kind of impact. Because again, there is no excuse when you give a free login champ, and again, I'm happy about it that he's good. When you give a free login champ that is as good as Sun Wukong, there is absolutely zero reason not to make Quintus a lot better than he currently is. So let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me or disagree with me. If you disagree with me, I can't frankly fathom a reason why, but I think we all agree that champion rebalancing needs to be a bigger focus of Plarium in the coming months, without a doubt. And I would love for them to start with this champion because he's a very, very easy fix to make him at least somewhat more viable for arena players to use. So let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. And frankly, I hope we see some good changes coming soon to the game. All right, guys, I'll catch you later. Big Papa Drock out.